Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, I'm glad you're here. I want to take a quick second and shout out and give a big thanks to my channel members. Appreciate you guys more than you know. And then I wanted to invite any of you that hadn't had a chance yet, that might be one of your first times here, to please hit that subscribe button down below and that bell notification icon. It'll notify you when I release content, and I try to do it at least every day and upload unboxings when I get them in. So love to have you as a member of the channel and look forward to seeing you around. Today, we're going to talk about my first LT Wright. This is an LT Wright Frontier First. I picked this up from DLT Trading Company. This little guy has been absolutely a joy. It has been amazing in terms of the value for a dollar, and it has been just really a joy to feel the craftsmanship, the workmanship that went into this little knife. So I wanted to kind of gush over it and talk about it for a little bit. So there's not a lot negative going on here, guys. I'll go ahead and tell you that. If I was going to give any negative, which is not even really a negative, you know how I feel about danglers. I have been carrying this in the sheath on my belt a couple of times, but mostly just stuck in my back pocket. I do wish I had a Kydex sheath for it, and the good news is LT Wright has a partnership domestically with a Kydex company, and I just haven't called them yet to see how much it's going to be and get one ordered up yet, because I've been enjoying this little knife, using this little knife, and just for a small EDC fixed blade, which this is a small EDC fixed blade. We'll look at it next to a couple things here in a second. We'll take some measurements, but it has got a very nice rounded micarta handle that I can get a full 4-finger grip with no issues. And it's got a super nice belt satin MagnaCut blade. The spine of the knife is absolutely crisp. So in terms of ferro rods, in terms of getting a fire started, these edges are very, very acute. So I would almost say you can feel them to be a little bit sharp. So I know this would be a great ferro rod striker. Great little fire starter, great little camp knife, a great EDC knife, because again, it is smaller. I can imagine this in a Kydex sheath would carry very well appendix style. I haven't had the chance to carry it appendix style yet because I don't have a Kydex sheath for it, but it is a really comfortable little knife. LT Wrights are made here in the USA, and you've got this little branding of a little like log cabin type outhouse looking thing. And then the only other mark on the blade is the M for MagnaCut. And guys, when I stumbled across this knife, which is how it came to be, I stumbled across it at DLT. I was amazed at the cost of the knife. So upon further inspection, if you go to LT Wright, and I'll link their site and the link where I purchased this knife from DLT, even though they're sold out below. But you can buy this knife without a sheath for like 60 bucks. You can buy it with a sheath, which is how I bought it from DLT, because they only carry them with sheaths, for $95. Less than 100 bucks for a made in the USA, super, super sharp, even though I'm not cutting very well with it. MagnaCut EDC fixed blade, under 100 bucks. Guys, I was very impressed by that. I haven't, this is what I would call a long-term review, overview more than anything else, because I have not abused this knife like it really needs to be abused. What I've done is I've carried it, I've cut with it, I've used it for EDC stuff, right? So this knife would and could easily replace a folder for a primary knife, even though it's a little bit smaller in the hand. It's very well built. I mean, you can tell that this full tang MagnaCut is just done very, very well. It's smooth. The micarta just really marries in to this tang where you don't feel any type of seam at all. I mean, it is really just that crisp, that clean, sculpted, rounded out. The micarta is kind of a non-textured feel. I mean, you can tell it's nice micarta, but it's probably been treated. It is black, and it doesn't have a lot of additional texture, right? It's not that fuzzy feeling micarta, but it does feel good. Um, let's do a couple of quick size comparisons with this knife, and let's see. That is it next to the Civivi Baby Banter. And this is it next to the Leon Ma Field Duty folder I happen to be carrying today. So it's about the size of the Baby Banter. Actually, really close to the size of the Baby Banter. So let's look at it next to some other fixed blades that are in my collection. And we'll start with the first one that came in before I was looking for an EDC fixed blade, because I kind of got this as my camp knife, hiking knife, and that is my SE3. And this is it next to the Guardian 3 by Bradford. You can tell it is much smaller than the SE3 and a good bit smaller than the Guardian 3, the Bradford. Let's look at it next to my J-Cal, my OG first J-Cal, and the SE Kendura. So it's a little bit smaller than the SE Kendura, little bit, I mean, a little bit larger than the SE Kendura, and a little bit shorter than the J-Cal OG. And then lastly, we'll look at it next to the Boker Barlow BFF and the S90V Chickadee. So it's about quarter, half inch larger than the Chickadee and about a quarter, same distance, half inch shorter than the Bradford Barlow BFF. So guys, that takes us to how long, how big is it? Let's get a few quick dimensions. We'll use Javon's handy promotional tape measure. This won't take but a second. It's going to come in right over 5.5 inches overall. And I don't know if I pointed it out, but it's got a brass lanyard tube, brass pins, and the lanyard tube, of course, is a pin. The blade is 2 3/4. The cutting edge is 2.5. The handle from the back of the handle to that choil where I was holding it, right at 3 inches. So you've got 3 inches from right here to the end of the handle right here, which gives me a 4-finger grip. Your hand dimensions will probably vary. And let's take a look at, turn this on. I haven't used this one yet. Let's see what the thickness of the MagnaCut is. 0.1180. And then the thickness of the handle is 0.65. It weighs, feels pretty light. Let's see. 2.4 ounces without the sheath and 3.6 with it. So again, it's a small little nimble package that I think, has its usefulness not only in an urban EDC environment, but it's got a very crisp spine that's very much ready for work. So I would say, again, striking that ferro rod would be a breeze with that. Getting a fire started would be a breeze with that. I think it'd be a joy to whittle with. to do a little, harder materials to use it with. I just think it's a fantastic little knife. I think the HRC is 6264. I think I read that on their social media or possibly in the DLT description when I bought it. They've also got this knife in A2 tool steel, 3V, and some other, blade steels. But when I saw the MagnaCut, I couldn't resist it. The A1 tool steel in this with the sheath is 75 bucks. The 3V was 85 bucks. And again, the MagnaCut was 95 bucks. So guys, that in a nutshell is my first LT Wright that I've been really pleased with. And that is the Frontier First. Small little knife that's been giving me just a lot of fun service. And with that, I'm going to peace out, you guys, and ask you to please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Please look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart and choose debate, not hate. I love you all.